Hello friends, my name is Shilpa Kakkar. I am from MB Patel English Medium Secondary and Higher Secondary School. Today, I have come up with Vistas' second chapter, The Tiger King. It is written by Kalki. Let us know the story. The writer of the story is Ramaswamy Iyer Krishnamurti. His pen name is Kalki. Ramaswamy Iyer Krishnamurti was a Tamil writer, journalist, poet, critic, and Indian independence activist. He penned 120 stories, 10 novelettes, 5 novels, 3 historical romances, editorial and political writings, and hundreds of film and music reviews. In this story, he talks about the king of Pratibandhapuram. The story is a satire on the rich and powerful kings of the olden days. In order to prove the prophecies of the fortune teller wrong, the king of Pratibandhapuram mindlessly kills 99 tigers, but the 100th one, the cause of the king's death, escapes his bullet. Ultimately, the king is killed by an inanimate tiger made of wood. Hence, the prophecy turns to be true despite the king's effort to prove it wrong. Here, the author, Kalki, very funnily and elaborately introduces the hero of the story. The way he writes and explains about him is very funny. He starts the story like this. The Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram is the hero of this story. He may be identified as His Highness Jamedar General, Kiledar Major, Sattavyagra Samhari, Maharaja Dhiraj Vishwabhuvan Samrat, Sir Jilani Jung Jung Bahadur, MAD, ACTC or CRCK. But this name is often shortened to the Tiger King. This is how we get the introduction of the hero of the story. So here, the writer introduces the main character of the story, the king of Pratibandhapuram. The king is a hero due to his bravery. He is given a list of titles to emphasize on his greatness. To sum up all the titles in one, the king is called the Tiger King. The reason for him being called so shall be revealed in the lesson ahead. The writer tells us that he would let us know why the king was called the Tiger King. He further promises the reader that he will not go back on his promise even if he is under the threat of an attack by a Stuka bomber aircraft. Instead, he says that the Stuka bomber aircraft can go back because he is not scared of it, and he will tell the reader why the king was called the Tiger King. The writer says that before elaborating about the Tiger King, one must know one important thing about him was that any person who read about the Tiger King would be very excited to meet a man of such undefeatable courage, but he says that there is no chance of meeting the Tiger King, as the Tiger King is already dead and he has reached heaven. The manner in which the Tiger King died was very interesting. The writer could tell us about it only at the end of the story. But he adds that a very interesting fact about the Tiger King's death was that when the Tiger King was born, astrologer had predicted at the time that one day the Tiger King would die. This is the humor in the story. Students, here the astrologer has foretold about the death. We all know the person who has born, has taken the birth, will die. This is the nature, and this is the fact. But here, this prediction is meaningless because, as a matter of fact, everyone has to die one day. The writer gives an elaborate description of what the astrologers predicted at the time of the birth of the Tiger King. They said that the child would grow up to become a brave warrior, a hero, and a champion. But after that, they stopped and bit their lips in order to show their reluctance to speak. When the astrologers were forced to continue, they said that they would reveal just now was a secret. They said that the child, that is the Tiger King, was born under such a star that any person who was born at the time had to meet his death one day. Again, the prediction is meaningless, as you all know, students, that because as a fact, everyone has to meet his death one day. Here, as the astrologers reveal their secret, a miracle took place. The 10-day-old Tiger King, whose name was Jilani Jung Bahadur, spoke up. All the listeners were surprised to see a 10-day-old boy speak. The Tiger King called out to the wise astrologers, and the main astrologer removed his spectacles and looked intently at the little baby. The Tiger King said in its squeaky voice that all those who are born have to die one day, and he did not need their predictions to know this fact. He added that if they told him the manner of his death, that would make some sense to him. The chief astrologer was amazed to see a 10-day-old baby speak and ask intelligent questions. It was unbelievable for him, just like the news which came from the wars. He took off the fingers from his nose and looked carefully at the little prince. Then he added that as the Tiger King was born in the hour of the bull, which was an enemy of the tiger, hence the tiger would die due to a tiger. The writer says that the reader may feel that the Tiger King trembled upon hearing the name of a tiger. But actually, that did not happen. On the other hand, as soon as the Crown Prince Jung Bahadur had heard the name of a tiger, he made a deep growing sound and spoke terrifying words. He said that all the tigers should beware. As a boy, he drank the milk of an English cow, was brought up by an English governess, got lessons in English by the Englishman, and watched English films just like the crown princes of other Indian states did. When the crown prince Jung Bahadur turned 20 of age, the royal state, which had been in the custody of the court of wards, was given to him. All the people who lived in the kingdom were aware of the astrologer's prediction. Many of the people discussed these predictions, and one day King Jung Bahadur came to know of it. Pratipandapuram state had many forests which had a number of tigers in them. The Maharaja was aware of an old saying that you could kill even a cow in order to protect yourself. So he felt that the cow, which was considered as a holy animal, could be killed by a Hindu in order to save himself. Then no one would object if he killed a tiger in order to protect himself. So Maharaja Jung Bahadur started out on a tiger hunt expedition. He was very excited when he killed the first tiger. He called for the state astrologer and showed him the dead tiger. The tiger. The king asked the astrologer for his comments, and the astrologer replied that the king could kill 99 tigers in exactly the same way as he had killed the first one. And he stopped speaking. The king encouraged the astrologer to continue without fear. So the astrologer said that the king had to be very careful with the 100th tiger that he hunted. The king asked him that what would happen if he killed the 100th tiger also. The astrologer replied that he would tear all his books of astrology and set them on fire. He continued that he shall cut off his hair and would change his profession from astrologer to an insurance agent, as he would not remain a good astrologer any longer. From that day, the tigers in Pratibandhapuram had a nice time as the kingdom banned tiger hunting by anyone else except the Maharaja. No one was allowed to kill a tiger other than Maharaja himself. The law was so strict that an official announcement was made that if anyone was caught killing a tiger or even throwing a stone at the tiger, his wealth and property would be taken away by the kingdom of Pratibandhapuram. The king of Pratibandhapuram took an oath that he would attend to all other matters of the kingdom only after he had killed 100 tigers. In the beginning, it seemed that he would achieve his target very fast. It was not that He feared the tiger. When the tiger went on his hunting expeditions, he faced danger many times. At times, his bullet missed targets and tiger jumped upon him. The king would fight with tigers barehanded, but each time he won and killed the tiger. The writer tells us another instance when King Jung Bahadur was about to lose his throne. A high-ranking British officer visited Pratibandhapuram. He was fond of hunting tigers and he wanted to get himself photographed with the dead tigers. He wanted to hunt tigers in Pratibandhapuram also. But as Maharaja had banned killing tigers by any other person, he did not give permission to this British official also. He offered him to go on any other hunting like mouse or even a mosquito hunt, but he refused to arrange a tiger hunting for this British officer. The British official's secretary sent a message to the Maharaja that the Durai, that is, the official himself, did not want to kill the tiger. The tiger could be, the king could kill the tiger. He only wanted to get himself photographed with the dead body of a tiger. But the king did not agree to this proposal also. He said that if he relaxed his decision and allowed the officials to get himself photographed with the dead tiger, then the other British officers would also come to Pratibandhapuram in order to fulfill their wish of hunting a tiger. As the king had refused the British officers from fulfilling his wish, he was in danger of losing his kingdom. The king had discussions with the ministers over this issue. The king sent a telegram to a famous British company of jewelers based in Kolkata. He asked them to send samples of expensive diamond rings of different designs. The jeweler sent 50 rings and the Maharaja sent all of them to the British officer's wife. Actually, students, he wanted to please the official so that they do not take away his kingdom. So he wanted to please in order to make a good to the damage that he had done by refusing the official from going on a tiger hunt in his kingdom. The king. It's a funny incident that a king had sent all the 50 rings to the lady. See how stupidity it is. How people fear of losing the things. So in that fear, he took the wrong decision. So what he did, that he expected the British officer's wife, that she would choose one or two rings and return the other rings, but she just sent a reply saying thanks for the gifts, and she kept all the rings. And do you know what happened after that? After 2 days, the British jewelers sent a bill of 3 lakh rupees for the 50 diamond rings they had sent. See, students, such things are very expensive. Only killing a tiger, refusing, having a fear to lose the kingdom. All that were very costly to him. The Maharaja was still very happy that he saved his kingdom from the sum for a sum of 3 lakh rupees. The king was very successful in his tiger hunting mission. In a span of 10 years, he had killed 70 tigers. An unplanned problem stopped his mission. The problem was that there were no more tigers in Pratibandhapuram. The writer creates humor when he says that maybe the tigers practiced birth control activities and did not produce offsprings, or maybe they committed suicide. He also adds that it could be that they ran away from Pratibandhapuram because they did not want to be killed by an Indian, and on the other hand, they want it to be killed by a Britisher. So they were making fun of this king. The king called his minister and waved his gun towards him. He said that he was yet to kill 30 more tigers. The minister was scared when he saw the gun and he cried to the king that he was not a tiger, as he feared that the king might aim his gun at him. In return, the king said that he was not foolish, that he would mistake the minister for a tiger. The minister was so scared that he added that he was neither a gun. The king said to him that he knew that he was neither a tiger nor a gun, but on the other hand, the king had called his minister for another work. So, it was so funny that the king actually called the minister for some other work, but as he started his talk with the tiger hunt, the minister was scared. So the king informed that he had called the minister to inform that the king wanted to get married. The minister was so confused that he started speaking something in a silly way. He said that the king already had 2 wives, and if the minister married the king interrupted the minister and scolded him for speaking nonsense. He said that he had no reason to marry the minister, and he did not want to marry the minister. He said that he wanted a tiger. So the writer again creates a humor when he says that the minister told the king that he should think over his decision. The minister adds that the king's ancestors were married to the sword, and so if he wanted, he could marry the gun. But marrying a tiger and getting a tiger queen for the kingdom of Pratibandhapuram was not a good thought. He added that a king, the tiger king, was enough for the state and they did not need a tiger queen. So such a humor was added by Kalki over here. This was very hilarious and the Maharaja started laughing. He said that he did not want to marry either a tiger or a gun, but he wanted to marry a girl from another kingdom. This is an art student writing skill. The way the writer expresses it creates humor. So when you read the text at that time, you will understand how humorously The writer has written this conversation of the king and his minister. So he asked his minister to make a list of the kingdoms and the number of tigers they had. Next, the minister was supposed to find out if there was a girl worth marrying in the royal family of a state which had a large number of tigers. The minister followed the orders and found the right girl from a state which had a large number of tigers. So every time King Jung Bahadur visited his father-in-law, he would kill 5 or 6 tigers in the kingdom. In this manner, he had killed 99 tigers, and the skin of the 99 tigers decorated on the walls of the lobby hall of the Pratibandampuram palace. As the Maharaja has killed 99 tigers, he was to kill just one more to complete his total of 100 tigers. He became very anxious and curious to kill the 100th tiger. Although the day and night he kept on dreaming of killing the 100th tiger. The tiger population in the king's father-in-law's kingdom had also finished. He could not find a single tiger anywhere. The king was very desperate for one single tiger that he could not hunt. If he could hunt, after which he would give up hunting as he did not fear tigers any longer. He was reminded of the late astrologer's word that he was supposed to be very careful with the 100th tiger that he hunted, and the king agreed that tigers were uncontrolled animals, and so he had to be cautious of it. But he was not able to find out the 100th tiger that he could kill. The writer again creates humor by saying that it was easier to find tiger's milk in the kingdom rather than an alive tiger. This made the king very sad. His sadness came to an end when he got the news that in the hillside village, sheep was disappearing very faster. There were 2 people in the kingdom, Khadar Mia Sahib and Veerasamy Naikar, who could swallow whole sheep. As this was not their job, so it was calculated that there was a tiger at work. The villagers were very excited and informed the king about it. The king was so happy and exempted the villagers from all the taxes for 3 years and set out to hunt this tiger. The king could not locate the tiger easily, and it seemed as if the tiger was hidden in order to go against the king's desire of killing the tiger. But the king was determined. He did not leave the forest until he would find tiger. With the passing days, he became very angry and was formed to kill the tiger. In his anger, he removed many officials from his kingdom. One day in his fury, he called the ministers and ordered him to increase the land taxes to double. He felt that by doing this, the people would become unhappy and his kingdom would become a part of the Indian National Congress. By doing so, the minister would also resign from his post. This was the king's way of threatening the minister. The minister realized that the king was very angry, and he thought that if the tiger was not found soon, it could lead to destruction. The ministers found that the tiger that he had been brought from the People's Park in Madras was hidden in his house. He felt relieved. The minister, along with his wife, pulled the tiger into his car and drove the car to the forest, where the Maharaja was hunting. The tiger did not come out of the car, and the minister had a tough time pushing the tiger out of the car into the forest. The next day, the same tiger was spotted by Maharaja. He was very happy to see the 100th tiger. The tiger, and he aimed at the tiger. The tiger fell down as if it had been shot dead by the king. He was overjoyed to have killed the hunter, and he had fulfilled his vow. The king was happy to have killed the 100th tiger. He ordered that the tiger should be brought to the capital in a grand procession and went away in his car. After the king had left, the hunters took a close look at the tiger and saw that it was alive. He realized that the king's bullet had missed the tiger. The tiger had nearly fainted due to the shock of the bullet as the bullet passed close to it. The hunters were confused what to do, and so one of them aimed at the tiger and shot it dead. Then the hunters followed the king's orders and took the tiger to the kingdom. After a few days, Maharaja's son's birthday was celebrated. Till that time, the king had been so engrossed in tiger hunting that he had never spent any time with his family. Now, as he had fulfilled his vow of killing 100 tigers, he gave his attention to his child. King Jung Bahadur wanted to give a special gift to his son on his birthday. So he wanted to do the shopping. So he went to the shopping center in Pratibandhapuram. He searched every shop, but he could not find any suitable gift for his son. So finally, he saw a wooden tiger in a toy shop and considered it to be the perfect gift. The wooden tiger cost only 2.5 annas, but the shopkeeper knew that if he quoted such a low price to the king, he would punish him. So the shop owner told the king that the wooden tiger was a perfect example of craftsmanship, and it cost a mere 300 rupees. The king was very happy and said that this was the shop owner's gift to the crown prince. He took the tiger with him. The king and his son played with the wooden tiger. The tiger had been made by an unskilled carpenter, and it had tiny shavings of wood pricking out of it. One of the shavings pierced the Maharaja's right hand. So a very minute part of the wooden string pierced into the Maharaja's hand. The Maharaja pulled it out and continued to play with the prince. The next day, there was a lot of infection in the Maharaja's hand. Due to that shaving of wood, and that pricked his hand. In a period of 4 days, the infection turned into a wound full of pus and spread over the king's right arm. Three famous surgeons called from Madras, and they decided to operate upon the king. After the operation, the surgeons came out of the theatre and said that the operation was successful and the Maharaja was dead. Here the surgeon's words are contradictory, because if the king died, it meant that the operation was unsuccessful, whereas they said that it was successful. Actually, they were supporting the words of the astrologer. The wooden tiger was the 100th tiger that had killed the Jung Bahadur, the king, and thus made the astrologer's prediction true. So in this manner, the 100th tiger took the revenge upon the Tiger King and killed him. So the students, hope you have understood the explanation of the story. When you will read the text, the prose, then you will be able to enjoy it very nicely. Students, I have written the summary of the story also. Here, these are the slides in which the summary of the story is written, and in the other slides, I have written the word and meanings of the new words. So, you will not find any problem in understanding the text while reading it. I have tried to cover all the words and the meanings with its explanation so you can enjoy the story nicely. Hope you will enjoy the reading of the story and listening to the explanation of the Tiger King. Thank you.